get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do my brows, and this might be this video is probably going to be one of the longer ones, but hopefully it's not going to be like 20 minutes or something like that, which is probably okay. So I've already done my eyes, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to moisturize my face. I did not do that as of yet, so I'm going to go ahead and put on some moisturizer. I'm using the Clinique. This is Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion, and this one does not have any SPF in it, so if you're going to use this one, definitely make sure that you do use something with SPF in it, for the simple fact that you don't want to go out and get sunburned and be looking crazy, and you know the long-term effects of sunburn and so forth. So yeah, make sure you definitely wear a foundation that's going to have some kind of sunscreen in it. So the foundation that I'm going to wear this morning is actually the Revlon Nearly Naked in the 260 Caramel, and I've talked about this before. I'm pretty sure I have a review on it, but this is my favorite drugstore foundation to use. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to actually conceal underneath my eyes. I do have a little darkness this morning, so I'm going to basically be using the CoverGirl Olay Simply Ages, and this is in the corrector, and it just looks like this, and it has the white swirls in it, so it really looks like that at the bottom. But I love this concealer because it is so hydrating. If you're one of those people that you tend to have a dry under eye area, you have to get this corrector. It is amazing. They sell it as a concealer too, but if you or my complexion or a little bit darker, I would tell you to probably go with the corrector, simply because the foundation shades, the concealer shades, are just a little bit too light. And I'm also going to take a Soho sponge and I'm going to spray this with some MAC Fix Plus, and I love this. I've actually talked about this before, if you guys can remember, but I did talk about using the Fix Plus and the sponge, and I'm just going to show you guys how this all works together. So basically, I take my Soho sponge and I just pat this into my skin, underneath that eye area. And I just blend it out, down and upward. And I just love this concealer. And the same with the other side. Okay, just like that, like I'm doing. Alright, and then the next thing I do is I take my Nearly Naked foundation and I'm going to use my Sigma F80. In the last video I done, the Colors of the Rainbow Tech, I actually talked about why I went back to the Sigma F80. It's just been a dream here lately when it comes to applying my foundation. So I'm just going to get some of this foundation on my brush. And brushes are also good too, guys, for like bacteria. To make sure you're not getting a whole lot on you. Because our hands are just not as clean as we would like them to be. So anyway, even after we wash them, you know, there's still stuff that could be under our fingernails and other areas. So I just basically pat this all around the face, and then I'm going to blend out. And so I'm starting blending now. And I'm blending down the neck as well, because the worst thing you can have is the line showing where your foundation stops. And then when it comes to where I've concealed at, I just pat it right underneath those areas. I just pat my foundation, because you don't want to wipe away the area that you just concealed. So I will just go ahead and just pat in that area. So whenever you get like right around your eyes, I'm going to pull this back just a little bit, because I want to make sure that I get near my hairline as well applying the foundation. So just make sure that you pat in those areas that where you concealed. You just want to pat your product in those areas. And yes, I have a zit. I'm not going to even worry about covering it up, because I'm just not. I'm going to do a video later on corrector palettes, because I did get a corrector palette, and I think it was like maybe $5, and it's a pretty good palette. Now at this point, what I do is I actually set my under eye concealer, and you guys see how like dewy this foundation looks. That's what I love about this foundation. Now to some people, if it looks greasy, what you can do is get your MSF or whatever type of powder you use, and you can just take that and go over the areas that you feel that it looks too dewy. It does have a little wet finish to it. So I'm just going to take a brush here, Sonia Kashuk, and I'm just going to go into my MSF, and I'm just going to put that down. Not putting it now where I'm going to do my under eye concealer, but anywhere else, my nose that might be oily, and put it there. I normally don't put powder on the chin area, but I can put a little bit there today. Cheeks. Just anywhere that you feel that it might be a little bit too oily for your liking. But don't put it underneath your under eye area, because that's one place we definitely don't want it. And I don't like putting it on my chin. Put it on my cheeks, down the bridge of my nose. Okay. So that's what it looks like thus far. So we're going to take some Ben Benign banana powder, and we're going to take a setting brush by Real Techniques, Max Fix Plus, and we're going to spray the brush. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with the Ben Banana powder I have at the top, and the cap, I'm sorry, like this. Pick it up, tap off any excess, and then I'm going to place this underneath my eye. And I do pull my eye area down because I want to make sure that it gets into every little crevice underneath my eye, and then I bring it back out. And I go in again, same thing with the other eye. Because you need the powder to dry up that area, but you don't want to make it too dry underneath that area. Okay, and so then I just take the brush and I just swirl it around and go back underneath the eye, tug down and pull it, just to make sure that there's no loose powder underneath there, and to make sure that there's no creasing, absolutely no creasing whatsoever in that area. Okay, so that's how I conceal underneath my under eyes. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my blush. So I told you guys I was going to show you how to use both blushes this morning. So I'm actually going to start out using this blush in Cream Soda. This is by MAC, and this is in the Archie collection. Some people use it as a highlight, that's fine. I like to use it as a blush, and I like to put it basically on the back part of my cheeks, and then swirl it towards the front. And I'll do the same over here, and it just adds a nice glow. I guess you could say it could be used as a highlight if you use it in this aspect, but I just like the nice glow that it leaves, and that's the reason why I use it like this. Okay, and I'm also going to put some down the bridge of my nose, a little bit on the temple. Okay, and then I'm going to take a blush. This is from Be a Bombshell, Beach Please, and I'm going to put this onto the apples of my cheek. I'm using a Sedona Lace. This is the FB03 brush. This is the Tulip contour brush, by the way, but mine's actually went flat, and believe it or not, I like it flat. Because I feel that it just gives a really better application for me. So I kind of like having it flat, used and pressing it flat up against my face. And it's a nice brush by Sedona Lace. And you don't have a lot of shedding or anything like that. Okay, so that's pretty much how I do the blush. Next, I need to bronze all this up. So I'm going to actually be using my Bare Minerals, and this is in Warmth. And I love using Warmth during spring and summer. And as you guys know, like last year, I used it to contour with because it was one of my favorites. So I'm just going to take, this is the Real Techniques. This is a contour brush. Tap off any excess like you always do with Bare Minerals. And I'm going to start contouring my face to add dimension. And I like to bring it up towards the hairline to make my face look golden. I love using this for like a sun-kissed look. And it definitely gives you that sun-kissed look as well. Sun just came out. Okay. And then I'm going to use just another contouring powder that I have. This one's by actually Mally Cosmetics. But I really like this one to contour my cheek area with. So I'm going to go back in with that. I also love the contouring powder, well, the Bahama Mama powder, and I've used pretty much of that, but that powder I think breaks me out, and it took me forever to realize it, but I put a little bit on yesterday, and that's where this one came from using that powder, from where I was contouring it. But as you can see, it's almost at a head, so I'm really not going to touch it, but I didn't feel like using a corrector palette on it for that simple reason. So we're going under the neckline with the contouring. Make your face look smaller. Okay. Alright, so that's the contouring. I usually do a little contour towards my nose. Make my nose look a little smaller. So I'll get just a little bit of something and contour my nose. I like my nose to look a little contoured. Okay, and then I'm going to put on some lipstick or some lip gloss or something like that. What did I have set up this morning to do? I thought I was doing Berry Smoothie. I fell on the floor. Okay, so Berry Smoothie, Revlon, number 85. Looks like that. I'm not going too dark with this morning because I wanted it to look kind of natural and kind of cute and, you know, just girly. And I'm going to get some lip glosses by Model & Co. and it's in Striptease. Which is basically just a clear gloss. Thought I had a hair or something. I don't know. Okay, so that's the makeup look. I'm going to show you guys what everything looks like completed once I've got my clothes on and my hair down, and I'll be right back. Okay, everyone, I am back. This is pretty much the finished look that I'm going to wear today. I need to talk to you a little bit about my hair. I actually got a question from a subscriber that wanted to know how do I keep my ends laying flat. To go ahead and address your question now in this video, what I do actually is my hair is, how do you say it? I get perms or relaxers or whatever you want to call it, and that's how I'm able to keep my ends and so forth straight. I also tend to flat iron my ends. There's really nothing special that I do. This is a fresh relaxer that I have right now, so that's why my hair looks, my ends or whatever, they just look like they're laid really flat down because this is a fresh relaxer that I have. I don't get relaxers often. I normally get those about every 6 months, if even then. So I take pretty good care of my hair. During my other videos, if it's almost time for me to get a relaxer, I mean, I can definitely tell when it's time for me to get a relaxer because I just cannot get the ends to lay flat. So that's something that I just always do. When I couldn't get my ends to lay flat, I went and got a fresh relaxer. One thing that I could tell you that you could do if you are having problems keeping your edges down, and if you don't mind doing your hair too often, is get you some moisturizing lotion in a spritz bottle, and basically fill your spritz bottle up with some warm water, and then get you one of these like good bore brushes. And then basically you spritz your hair, put in your oil, and then you should be able to brush your hair back in a way so that you can form that perfect do my ponytails. It's just what works for me, and that's the way I've always done my ponytails. Hopefully the suggestions I gave you should help you out some, if you were wondering, or I'm just hoping that the suggestions help you out a little bit. But that's how. I don't want you guys to think anyway that I'm 100% natural, because I'm not. I just don't get perms as often as I used to. I get them now around about every 6 months, and this is a fresh perm, so that's why my edges are laying so flat. Have it. I hope this video was helpful for you guys and showing you the way that I'm now doing my makeup. This is the way I'm wearing my makeup basically for spring and summer, and I absolutely love it. So thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel, and I will see you guys in the very next video. Bye everyone.